What's going on, guys? Angel Talamantes here with ClickLeads Local, and we're back with another one of our 50 best business and entrepreneur books in 26-week journey. And today we have the book, The Monk That Sold His Ferrari. And this isn't, a huge book for business and entrepreneurs. A lot of people, it's not as famous as some of the other business books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Power Fabric, etc. But there's a lot of value that I've seen and heard and read about in reviews of this book. So if you guys don't want to miss another book in this series, I suggest you guys hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys don't miss a single upload of any of these books. So let's go on with the video on The Monk That Sold His Ferrari.
This journey was towards the mystical land of India across the great Himalayan range where these Indian monks resided. These monks were no ordinary, as they were among the people with highest level of wisdom, and they were capable of liberating the potential of anyone's soul, body and mind. Julian had his sources from where he got to know that these monks live happily for more than 100 years, that too with an energy of a young man. It took him days to find one of those monks who, upon listening to Julian's story, agreed to take him to their secret village. Julian started living there with those monks in that village. Watching Julian's dedication, monk leader decided to teach Julian the principles of life on a condition that Julian will not keep that knowledge to himself. Rather, he would spread it to the outside world. So the monk started narrating his story. Imagine you are sitting in a beautiful garden which is full of different type of trees, flowers, and you can see many birds chirping around. The flowers in the garden smell really nice and you are having a good time there. You notice that there's a lighthouse in the middle of the garden, and suddenly the door of that lighthouse creaks open as you can see a sumo wrestler coming out of the lighthouse. It's really weird to look at the sumo wrestler as he's just wearing an underwear made of thin wire. He wanders around and finds a golden stopwatch lying in the garden. As soon as he tries to pick it up, he slips and he falls on the ground lying motionless. After some time, you could see that he gets back to his senses, probably because of the nice fragrance of the rose in the garden, and he looks towards his left. On his left was a path paved out of small diamonds which led to a place where the sumo wrestler can find all the happiness in his life. He starts walking on that path and soon gets out of sight. Now I know you guys might be feeling really weird, so did Julian, as this is no story. He asked monk if this was some kind of a joke, as this story made no sense at all. The monk then said that this is no ordinary story, as this story has 7 biggest principles of life. He then went ahead and started explaining the story, relating it to its hidden meaning. The first principle is related to the garden. The garden in the story symbolizes our brain. If you sow good seeds, you'll eventually bear nice fruits on trees, good plants bearing beautiful flowers, and nice smooth grass.
That's a very interesting concept of the garden being the mind because, you do have to keep up and do learnings and, read books such as what we're doing right now and consuming good content. If you rot your brain, essentially, you're going to have a bunch of weeds in the garden and you're not going to be able to decipher what's good information and what's bad information. So I think this analogy of the garden is a really interesting analogy by this monk.
If you put garbage inside the garden or if you just stop watering the plants, the place will soon turn into a dump. Similarly, if you flood your brain with positive thoughts like kindness, love, empathy, and if you keep motivating yourself, your brain will develop into this beautiful garden bearing good thoughts. This will help you achieve great things in life with inner peace. But if you think negative, or if you don't give your brain some regular exercise, it will turn into this garbage dump which can only yield something poisonous. It's rightly said, empty mind is devil's workshop. The second principle is related to the lighthouse, which symbolizes goals in your life. A lighthouse shows the right direction to the ship sailing in an ocean. Similarly, we should choose a right path in our life. You can only reach a destination if at all you know your destination. Choose a target and work on achieving it. You might have to face some difficulties while moving towards your goal, but if you're consistently moving in right direction, sooner or later you are going to reach your destination. The third principle is related to the sumo wrestler, which symbolizes Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese word which means continuous learning and improvement. Like a sumo wrestler has to be very specific with his diet and discipline to achieve this huge physique, we need to always keep learning. 1% Better has always been focusing on how we should inculcate the habit of reading books because books are the best mentors. Not only you learn things from books, but you always keep improving in every small thing that you do in your life. Moreover, Books are a consolidation of everything that the authors have learned in their entire lifetime, and you can have all that knowledge in just a few hours. Isn't that amazing? So my point here is to take part in every activity which you think can help you improve in your life. The fourth principle is related to the underwear that the wrestler is wearing, which is made up of wires. It depicts self-control and discipline. It might be small and thin, but without that underwear, the wrestler will be naked, and that certainly won't be a pleasing sight. Now, if you have seen cable wire from inside, you might be aware of the fact that it usually is made up of many thin wires which together forms a cable. These thin wires might be weak alone, but when put together are even stronger than an iron rod. Similarly, our self-control and discipline is made up of every small thing that we do in our life, be it waking up early or eating healthy. We feel that these small things don't really matter, but in reality, these are the only thing that matters. You won't see an instant impact, but in the long run, these small things will bring some big changes in your life, and they will define who you are as an individual. The fifth principle is related to the golden stopwatch, which symbolizes time. No matter how rich or poor you are, you only have 24 hours in an entire day, not even a second more or less than anyone else. But the way we utilize these 24 hours is what makes us happy or sad, rich or poor. Most of us have this habit of procrastinating, which is nothing but a waste of time. By the time you're done with building castles in the air, someone else out there just signed a huge profitable deal. By the time you woke up in the morning, someone else is returning from gym feeling fresh, fit and happy. Now when I say time is golden, it doesn't mean that we should always keep working. No, instead we must enjoy and have some fun activities in our day-to-day life. But what's really important is to manage everything in those 24 hours. Every successful person knows how to manage time, so they manage to do every single activity in same 24 hours that each one of us has got. Now the sixth principle is related to the fragrant rose. There's one really famous saying in Chinese which means that there's always a little fragrance remaining in the hand of those who give flowers to others. So here this flowers and its fragrance symbolizes social cause. Doesn't matter how much you earn or what heights you reach, the satisfaction of helping others is priceless. No wonder why some really rich people in today's world do charity work, investing their hard-earned money in developing some rural village and many more things. So if you want to have that priceless feeling of happiness and satisfaction, help others selflessly and you'll find yourself happy most of the time. The seventh principle is related to the path of diamonds. These diamonds represent the small moment of happiness which comes our way in life. These moments are always in your present time. Our human brains are designed in such a way that we tend to get disturbed thinking about past and worrying about future. We never really enjoy the small happy moments that we have in present. It can literally be anything, playing with your kids in a nearby park or maybe spending some quality time with your partner. These special moments are supposed to be lived in present, and these are the real diamonds in our life. If only you understand this now, you are really going to be good at relationships and well, a real happy contented person. So guys, these were the 7 lessons which the monk taught Julian which completely changed his life. As promised, Julian spread out this knowledge to the outer world, and that is what we all should do to help our loved ones get all the happiness in the life.
So this was the monk that sold his Ferrari, and it was cool to listen to overall with him telling the stories and then using certain items that turn into parables in the story, create something that you can really relate to in your life. The small diamonds, how precious time is, and doing those small things, not only with your family, but in your business, and taking control of, what your habits are so that you can do small things day by day, but in a long term, create really big and, evergreen success for yourself. Thank you guys so much for checking out The Monk That Sold His Ferrari. And if you guys like this book, go ahead and get it on audiobook on Audible or get it from your local library and give it a read yourself. So until next time, guys, we'll talk to you soon. The next book on our list is The 80-20 Principle by Richard Cook. So I can't wait to show you guys that video and keep moving on this 50-book series. If you guys want to check out anything else that we've done, go ahead and click somewhere around this video and you'll be able to see some of the other videos that we've created in this 50-book series. So until next time, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.